Welcome to Interview with a Lockpicker, brought to you by BrokePicks. Prepare for a deep dive into the world of locks.
All right, today we have in the interview room Mr. LockManipulator. He's one of the most amazing safe manipulation safe manipulators I've seen in a long time. He really took my safe manipulation to another level, and then now he's telling me there's a new way to do it, but we'll get into that a little later. To do it, that's way easier, but go ahead and say hi.
Hey everyone, this is LockManipulator here. Jared is my name.
Well, it's great to have you here. I really appreciate you doing this and being a part of our little interview series. So I guess we'll just get right into it. So how were you introduced to the community?
So I was introduced to the community through the old key picking forum, which is unfortunately not available anymore, but it's an old internet forum specifically for Locksport. And I got into it because when I was 12 years old, I I wanted to learn how to pick a lock, and that's because at the time, all at that age, my parents put all the toys in the toy room and they would lock it. And I wanted to get in,
Yes.
like at night or just when I can't sleep. And so I learned how the locks work, and I used paper clips to pick my first lock. And from there, I found the forum and started doing it more for the sport of it and properly doing it by making my own tools.
So did anybody in that lock picking forum there? I totally missed the boat on the lock picking forum. I went back and looked at it a few years later, but man, a lot of amazing pickers over the years have came out of there. I I wish I would have paid more attention to computers when I was in school. I guess
Yeah, a lot of, advancements came out of there too. Like one of the most popular rakes is the Bogota rake. That's like one of the most popular and most effective shape for a rake.
yeah.
And that came out of key picking as well from the user Raimundo.
Oh, did that? That came out
Yep.
of
So
there?
I was around when that happened, and he was posting his creations online, and like, hey, I came out with this new design. He named it after the mountains in Colombia, and it was really cool seeing that. Like, oh, hey, people are doing new and exciting things here, and then now, like 10 years, 15 years later, it's it's a commercial pick that has been picked up by just about every major brand.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know he did it right on there. I knew he was on there that he did it by the mountains down there in Colombia. Is there anything about yourself besides lock picking that you would want anybody to know out there? Like any special other hobbies or anything like that? Yeah, the second question. All right. So is there anything about you that you'd like to share with the community? Other hobbies, interests, things you think people might be interested in?
Yeah, so I mean, I do a lot of things. Something that I've always, really enjoyed is rock climbing. So I do a lot of rock climbing. I've got a wall I built in my garage to practice on. I had a little bit of a sponsorship going for a bit there.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm also really into cybersecurity. That's my background is cybersecurity. So I do a lot of programming, a lot of coding. I do a lot of work with electronics. I just like to tinker and mess about with things.
I'm that way too. I totally get it, but rock climbing, man, you got to have some finger strength there.
Yeah, it's all in the fingers.
I always wanted to do that, but I was too old for it now as the Ninja Warrior, and rock climbers do real good in that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm past my prime for that. So what did you originally start your YouTube channel for?
Um, just so there's I started it, I guess, just to have a place to upload videos to show people. Like way back on the key picking forum, for instance, we were trying to figure out how to manipulate like a group 2M Lagarde, for instance. And so I was just like, okay, I need to make a channel, just, upload some private videos, unlisted videos, just so I can explain what I'm doing and then see if other people are doing the same things. And then kind of just from there went into, oh, okay, there's not much content out there about learning this stuff, so why don't I just put up like a few videos to to help other people, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah, and that I found those videos and I have watched them over and over and over, and they're great. I still haven't watched your next one. In fact, I'll probably do that tonight because I have a little time. I've been just running around like crazy, but he's got a new video out uh, with safe manipulation, and I I'm sure it's awesome. I wish I would have watched it before.
It's all in one, so I didn't wanna break it up like I did before.
Yeah,
If someone wants to download my videos, they're going through downloading, like, what is it, like, 9 videos or something, and I was like, I download videos from YouTube a lot, so in this way, if you wanna download it and keep it, you only have to have 1 video, you don't need all these separate videos.
do you do you have anything that you would like to give advice to any other lock sporters? Anything you'd like to tell people coming in, things like that?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things in Locksport, is don't just wait for someone to tell you how to do something. If you come across a new lock, or, some sort of mechanism that works a little differently, asking around is great, but also trying to solve it on your own is really good too, because different people will come up with different solutions, and if you just rely on other people's solutions, you're kind of holding yourself back. You may find something that works better than what others have found, or at the very least something that works better for you. So definitely always try and do your own research, and figure things out on your own. I think that's a huge skill to have.
I think it is too. It's critical thinking, and I think this world has gotten quite far away from critical thinking, and that's how I figured out a lot of safe manipulation because I didn't have the internet. I had no idea about you know the forums and things like that. I found some books. I you know it was here and there, and uh, picked it safes off the side of the road and tore them apart, and so yeah, I think that's a real good piece of advice for them.
Yeah, that's how I got to, my current skills, is because I didn't just wait around for someone to tell me of better methods for manipulation. On the key picking forum, we got together and we independently figured out wheel isolation, and that's why I do that now, is because we figured that out. And then with the latest like floating wheels method, like I figured that out. I independently discovered that on my own, which is not a very widely known technique. So, waiting around for someone to tell me that, it could have been, another 10 years down the line.
Yeah, and just think of how far you've advanced in your skills by doing a little critical thinking. It's just and it's innovation and taking us to another level. I always oh, I wish I could remember it. I thought I invented uh, a way to get a SFI or a LFIC Medico out, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just discovered something!" And then I found a video on it. I was so mad. But yeah, I think we really need to get people need to get down to that. Take your locks apart, learn how they work, learn the the mechanics of it. Are there any lock sporters out there you feel you should mention from that are of note of the community out?
Yeah, so this person, he's actually a friend of mine, like in real life, not just online. But Artichoke, is it 2000 or 3000? That's actually embarrassing. I should know.
I think it's
But
2000.
yeah, so Artichoke 2000 on YouTube, he has some of the best videos on picking a high security lock. So he's got a series on the ASA twin line, all the different ASA twins, and yeah, they were Artichoke 2000. That's correct. Yeah, and he's fantastic. I mean, I have some ASA twins that I was unable to pick. Specifically, it's an ASA Twin 6000 I got from a person named Zio is his online name on the key picking forum, and he was known as the master of ASAs. Like, I mean, you hand this guy any ASA twin and he can get it open, but this is one from his naughty bucket that he wasn't able to get open that I
Yeah,
bought off him a long time ago. I could never get it open. I hand it to Artichoke, and 2 days later, he hands it back to me fully picked.
that guy is amazing. You know, I thought for the longest time until I found, you know, the the community out that I was like, you know what, I'm pretty good, you know. And then I get out there and you find people like Artichoke and all
Yeah,
these.
and I like that he makes educational content too. That's
Yeah,
another thing is that's so important in this community is to help each other.
yep, absolutely, and to share the knowledge and share little tips and tricks that I pick something a little bit different than you do, and it it's really helped me along the way to, I mean, leaps and bounds.
Yeah, yeah, and speaking of people doing things differently, like he, for instance, picks medicos in a completely different way than I pick medicos. Um, I exclusively pick medicos with a left rotation. Um, I I don't ever pick them to the right, but he will, do this cool technique where he actually switches direction during picking in order to get more information out of the lock.
Yeah, that's what I do. I think I learned that from him because Medico. I love Medicos and M Hearts. I don't know what it is about it. It's just,
M hearts are nice. That's my favorite lock.
yeah, it's it's up there with mine. It's a tie, and only because I get obsessed about the way the keys look. If it's a cool looking key, oh man.
Yeah.
So like the multi lock interactives, they're up there, and then the van locks with the.
Yeah.
So I'm obsessed with those. But yeah, I agree with that. So with that, what is your favorite thing about Locksport?
The puzzle aspect, I really like solving challenges, and I mean, picking a lock, you're essentially doing a jigsaw puzzle blind by
Hmm.
only feeling the pieces essentially. That's what I normally tell people what lock picking is, and it really is like that. Um, and then especially, and then when you go to safe manipulation, you're taking another step away, and then you're doing it blind, but while wearing gloves. Essentially,
Hmm.
it's like a jigsaw puzzle where you can't
Mittens.
really even feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And each challenge is different. Like each lock has its own sort of personality. So you're doing something new each time, right? It's not like you're solving a riddle where you're given a riddle and there's an answer, and if you've heard it before, you already know the answer.
Hmm.
With picking locks, yeah, like I've picked a million quick sets and schlegs, for instance, but but perhaps one comes along and it's just another regular 5-pin Schlage, but it's gonna give me issues, you know, things
Mhm.
like that just happen. So I really like that each lock is kind of novel in its own way.
Yeah, I like that too. Uh, and you're so right about that because I see a lot of people I have in the past, where they'll get a master lock. They pick one master lock. Okay, I can pick master locks. They finally get like an 1100, and they're like, okay, I can pick 1100s. I'm like, no, buddy, I've been doing this a long time. There's master or 1100s that give me absolute nightmares, and then there's some I can open with my eyes closed. You know?
Yeah, and with safe locks, it's like it's even more pronounced in my opinion because since there's no direct feeling of anything that's going on inside, you know, it's a lot harder to diagnose when something isn't going like it should be. Like with locks, keyed locks, you can feel when it doesn't feel good. Like it's kind of crunchy feeling or just feels dirty or just things are not moving well.
Yeah.
Um, but you still have like that additional feedback. And in safe locks, it's like you don't have any of that. So,
No.
you know, when things go wrong, so to speak, it's a lot more fun to figure it out. It's a completely kind of different process.
Oh, it's it's a totally different process. You know, I thought I was pretty good at safes too, but I'm not. I figured out a lot by dumb luck and kind of developing my own way because there wasn't a lot of content out there. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and so actually I want to give a big shout out to web pirate Rick and Mazzini on YouTube, and he makes videos of himself opening up safes. He travels around and opens them for free, and he'll live stream them. And I've learned a lot from watching his videos because the locks that I work on, since I'm also a locksmith and safe technician, they're not usually in the that bad of a condition compared to what he's working on. He works on a lot of older antique ones, and in my area doesn't have antique safes. So he comes across issues where, you know, sometimes you're feeling for a contact point and there's just none there. And that's a big thing I learned actually from him is how to manipulate a safe where you can't even locate the contact point.
Yeah, that guy is he's amazing. G Key Man, uh, he introduced me to that guy's videos, and I was like, he's in a whole another world than because them the older safes, you know, the lubrication is went and gone, dried up. It's you know, stiff, or you know, there could be something just a little bit off. For him to open those is unreal, and he just goes and does them for free. That's crazy. I almost want to try to find a safe and be like, I can't open this. Why don't you come and help me? Just
Yeah.
to watch him, you know?
Yeah.
So, with that, we usually give a final message to the audience. And is there any other lock sporters, safe crackers, anything you'd like to say thanks to or give a shout out to? Or
Yeah, well, a big shout out to on the old key picking forum, this guy called Old Fast because he's who got me into doing safes. And he was the first and only person I saw that was doing it, and he would just make posts chronicling his journey. And so that was really cool, and he would do the same lock, but a different one, but the same model. And it was cool to see just how the same lock will behave differently from one to another. And so that's what got me on the path of like, hey, I want to learn this. I want to do this as well.
that's awesome. Um, did you did you go to school for the safe manipulation?
No, I never. I mean, after I learned it, I have attended classes on it. But mostly because I wanted to see maybe I missed something, or maybe this person teaches in a way that I can learn how to teach better, since the last 4 years I was an instructor at a locksmithing school, so I was teaching people safe manipulation. But I never really learned anything from classes. It's all just been like on my own or collaborating and talking with other people.
Yeah, I think uh, I think the safe manipulation part of this whole sport and everything needs a revamp because your videos are great. Any of the other videos out there, like you'll get like Lagarde and S&G, they got their um, tutorials out there, and it's like watching paint dry. It's like
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay attention here, but holy cow, let's amp it up a little bit. You know, show some progress, and I'd really like to see that. But with that, I'd like to thank you for coming on here, and we had talked earlier that you're going to stay for a little bit and talk on the Into the Shadows. So with that, I'll say thank you. Appreciate you coming
Thank you
on.
very much for having me.
And anybody that wants to, like me, could just go and keep talking and talking and talking about anything and everything. We'll be on the Into the Shadows. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next time.